Professional chefs from across the UK are battling it out
I'm not here to mess around.
to earn the chance to cook at the prestigious Great British Menu Banquet,
No pressure.
which this year celebrates the very best British inventions. The chefs must create innovative dishes which not only taste delicious, but capture the theme too. Wowza. It's the ultimate test of ingenuity and skill.
I like that.
Previous celebrated Great British Menu winners, returning as veteran judges, score the regional rounds.
God, this is a hug and a glass, isn't it?
The pressure is on as at the end of each day, one chef will be eliminated.
Not much you can say.
We're halfway through the Scotland Heats, where three of the nation's most gifted chefs are cooking their hearts out.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yesterday, it was Amy Ellis who ended the day in last place
Oi! Hallelujah.
and left the competition.
Well, honestly,
It's been great work,
you
Olivia.
guys, you rocked it.
A trio of Edinburgh chefs remain. Last year's Scotland champion Roberta Hall and newcomers Scott Smith and Stuart Ralston.
Caviar?
Yeah, start a meal with a bit of caviar.
While their starters failed to excite veteran Tom Brown,
Not crispy enough and under-seasoned.
I think the execution needs work.
We're all a bit scared now, so...
redemption came in the form of fish dishes, inspired by innovation in medicine, astronomy and photography.
We've had ups and downs. Let's have some more ups.
With only 2 points separating them, any mistake could be the difference between making it to the judges. Roberta, take your time, breathe, or going home. Are they behaving, Roberta?
No, not in the slightest.
The three remaining chefs for Scotland must now compete over mains and desserts. Stuart is in the lead with 16 points, Roberta is hot on his heels with 15, and Scott is on 14. It is all to play for. The veteran deciding which two chefs will present their dishes to the judges tomorrow is an exacting taskmaster. Himself a main course winner in 2018, he's both feared and revered. It's Tom Brown.
I'm really looking for something spectacular here. I want to see something worthy of a banquet. I want to see the chefs showing off their cooking skills. I want to see them getting the best out of that beautiful Scottish produce. And I really, really want to see some innovation.
Currently in last place, Scott's pinning his hopes on a main course inspired by the Scottish inventor of the TV. Hey there, how are you, Scott?
Yeah, good, thank you.
What is the name of your dish and the inspiration, please?
So the name of the dish is TV Nation, inspired by John Logie Baird and the influence TV has had on our culture and eating habits.
Just tell me what you're cooking here, Scott.
So I've got some short rib of beef, which is going to be braised. Essentially, I'm doing a TV dinner, so over-processed, overcooked. I'm just trying to overcook it.
But make it nice.
Exactly, yeah, make it nice, elevate that a little bit. So I'm going to do some potato muesli with Iron Victory potatoes and horseradish, shoestring fries, and then I'm going to do some caramelized carrots to go along with that, finish with some oxalis for some acidity.
So it's braised beef, mash and carrots?
Yeah.
Really simple again.
Really simple again, yeah.
So presumably you're pressure cooking this?
Yeah.
Are you confident you're going to get enough flavour into that? It's quite a short cooking time, no?
It's a very short cooking time. You know, if I get this wrong and I'm up first today, then it's going to be a disaster. So it's going to go one way or the other.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Normally when you're braising a piece of beef like this, you want to take a long time to get it beautifully tender and delicious. Scott's using a pressure cooker, but I'm a little bit worried he's going to run out of time here.
Roberta's dish is honouring not one, but two Scottish inventions in an ambitious main course. Hi, Roberta.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
There's a lot going on over here, isn't there?
Basically, John Lawson Johnson invented Johnson's fluid beef, Bovril, and the whole idea is about his innovative way of preserving food.
So the original name for Bovril was Johnson's fluid beef.
Yeah, and so the whole dish is celebrating another Scottish invention, which is the thermos. So I'm making a beef tea and a pie.
You've got some amazing cuts of beef and stuff here. Can you just talk me through exactly what it is you're cooking?
In the pie, there's a few layers. In the base is going to be some braised beef cheeks and beef shin. Next layer is some caramelised onions. And then top layer, I'm making a chicken mousse. Got some ox tongues as well. It's all going to get folded together with some pommery mustard and then wrapped in some Parma ham and some pastry.
I mean, it's quite technical with the layering, and I know I'd be worried about that.
I am worried. I'm not going to lie. I am. It's a lot of work. I've got to, the building of the pie is the biggest part that I have to do today, and getting the pastry on it.
OK, well, we'll let you get on with it because you've got a lot to do.
I do, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
I fear you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Roberta's dish, Johnston's fluid beef. She's got a layered pie, loads of offal, beef consommé. If she nails everything on this dish, it's going to be a real showstopper.
Hoping to maintain his lead, Stuart's far from sheepish about his main course. Oh, heavens. That was good timing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that, Stuart.
Big old bit of lamb.
Amazing.
The name of my dish is Ba Dolly. And it is inspired by Dolly the sheep, who was cloned by Keith Campbell at the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh.
When was that?
That was in 1996.
So I remember it all.
Yeah, so just talk me through all these ingredients and what you're going to be doing with them.
Yeah, basically, so we've got the lamb saddle, we're going to break down the loin, we're going to make a sauce from all the bones, and then the belly and the flank part, we're going to basically chop up, roast, and then fold through the sauce at the end, so you get that real roasted lamb flavour.
You're doing the loin of lamb, yeah? And how are you cooking that?
Just very basic. I'm pan frying it, lots of foam and butter, lots of rosemary. That's just the way I cook at the restaurant.
Speaking to me now.
We're going to make a little sort of pea tartlet on the side that's going to have something we call norinade. So it's basically a relish made with nori seaweed.
OK, you better get on with it.
Thanks very much. Yes,
Thanks, love.
Bye.
I love the sound of all three of the chef's dishes today. It's just going to come down to who can keep a level head and execute everything perfectly.
The star of Scott's TV dinner, inspired by John Logie Baird, is beef short rib,
Getting the beef on as soon as I can is really important.
which he wants to be melt in the mouth, but that's a tall order in the limited time he has.
Traditionally, you do kind of like 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours for a cut like that. In a pressure cooker, you can bring the time down to about an hour. I've got an hour and 45, so I'm hoping to try and get this down to about 45 minutes. Gives me a bit of time to allow it to cool, press, before glazing and serving.
Once seared, he adds the rib to the pressure cooker along with a reduction of wine, shallots, brown sugar and cider vinegar.
Making sure that's nicely covered. Then some fresh lemon verbena leaves.
But
Now I just need to remember what I'm doing with this machine.
he hadn't factored in how long it would take for it to come up to pressure.
Everything okay with the pressure cooker, Scott?
It is now.
What happened?
It just took its time to come up to pressure, so I've lost about 15 minutes on it.
Bit worrying?
Yeah, it's knocked me off timing a bit.
With the beef finally cooking, Scott starts making a potato mousse.
Our Victory potatoes are really, really high in starch, so it just helps create the emulsion as well.
He mixes his potatoes with a combination of butter, cream and milk that's been infused with horseradish. And then blitzes with gelatin before pouring it into an espuma gun to serve later. To get a better understanding of the work of John Logie Baird, Scott took a research trip to the National Museum of Scotland to meet curator Alison Taubman.
Baird is a good example of a quintessential innovator. His first prototypes, what he called a televisor, he made literally out of sealing wax and bicycle parts. It's what he had to hand. And then there were also some very sophisticated elements that he brought in. And that prototype is now recognised as transmitting the first moving images in the world.
I also read as well that he was the first one to do the first transmission of colour television as well.
By 1928, he'd already moved into colour television, and eventually it's what led to this sort of colour television, which we have here. It's using Baird technology. I'm delighted that you chose John Logie Baird, and I'm sure he'll bring you inspiration, and I can't wait to see what you produce.
This trip today has certainly spurred on my motivation to make sure that I do this man proud and do Scotland proud in creating a special dish for the banquet.
Inspired by the Scottish inventor of Bovril, Roberta's cooking a multi-layered pie she hopes will nudge her ahead of leader Stuart. But this recipe is not for the faint-hearted. She kicks off making short crust pastry and sets aside to chill before creating the individual layers that will fill the pie, caramelizing onions, browning beef, shin and cheek.
Very hot pan behind and in the sink.
Before making a chicken mousse mix peppered with ox tongue. Next, she lines a mould with pancetta slices and then adds her layers ready to be chilled, then covered with pastry and cooked before serving.
Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Chef.
I love the sound
Yeah,
of it.
good.
And then you've got to obviously set this.
So it needs to firm up just so I can pay through it.
I mean, it does look beautiful already.
We're
I've got
getting
to
there,
say.
we're getting there.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I mean, it all sort of rests on this, really, doesn't it?
It really does,
If
yeah,
it's not,
so
if
no
it's not
pressure.
spot on, no.
Then, yeah, it's...
Yeah, then
there's not,
everything's-
all you'll get is some beetroots and turnips,
Yeah,
so that's
nice.
not great.
Best of luck. I'm really, really looking forward to trying it.
Thank you, thank you.
For his dish commemorating the cloning of Dolly the sheep, Stuart's showcasing 2 cuts of lamb, the fillet and the loin, which he removes from the saddle.
So the belly, we're just going to cut down and start roasting it in the pan to get all the lamb crispies for the sauce. So we've got the vegetables all sort of sweated off here. White wine. A little rosemary in for the stock. So all the lamb bones in there. Reduced lamb stock. Chicken stock.
Stuart's dish is quite intriguing, isn't it? Because even though there's lamb at the centre of it, the whole thing sounds very light.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it comes out. He's got like a maturity
Yes.
about his cooking, which I like.
So Roberta has given herself a lot of work.
If she gets everything right, it's going to be brilliant, but we saw before that when the time's up against her, she can panic a little bit.
Scott's TV dinner sounds incredible.
This is the sort of dish for me that you want to pour a lot of time into. You
Yeah.
want to cook the beef overnight or whatever. He's obviously got to do it in a short time here, so I'm just worried that he's not going to be able to get that depth of flavour in that.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Could have done with that 15 minutes extra.
Like Tom, Scott's worried his beef rib hasn't had enough time to cook. But if he's to avoid being late, he needs to remove it from the pressure cooker.
Yeah, stressed. Really stressed now.
It's the moment of truth for the beef.
Okay, yeah, that's a good sign. See, the bones just come right away. So that's a very good sign. Yeah, it looks... Yeah, it's good. Could have really done with more time in the liquor. I'm going to lose a bit of moisture from the meat because of this, and for sure lose some marks. But it's better than not having a dish, isn't it?
So, now he can get on with reducing the cooking liquor for a sauce and glaze.
Scott, how you doing?
Yeah, good, Tom.
Is everything going to plan, or...?
I had a bit of a slow start. The pressure cooker took a little bit of time to come up to the pressure I needed it to get to.
Cool.
So it delayed me about 15 minutes. It has put me behind a little bit.
Is this the liquor here?
This is the liquor here, yeah.
Can I give it a little taste?
Absolutely, yeah.
And are you wanting that to be quite sort of sticky at the end, like sort of
Yeah,
quite strong?
So one pan I'm going to reduce down just until it's a nice sauce consistency. The other pan I'm going to reduce down to a glaze for the beef. So the beef will have a really nice sticky coating on it, and then there'll be a sauce on the plate as well.
I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Try not to let it throw you.
Yeah.
You've had a little setback. I'm sure you're going to be fine. Just keep cool and you'll put something up brilliant, all right?
Cheers. Thanks.
Nice one. He had a slight problem with his pressure cooker earlier, which is setting back a little bit. I've actually just tasted the braising liquor from his meat, and it's good. It's got good flavour. It still needs to reduce quite a lot, so I hope that's going to be done in time. But yeah, it still it tastes lovely at the minute, so we'll see.
So I've got 15 minutes, even less, so to get this pie finished. So I'm going to, if I can knock this out in the next 10 minutes. No pressure.
Roberta's focus is on finishing her complex layered pie. Her filling has now cooled to a point where it has set, allowing her to wrap it in the pastry she made earlier.
Pastry time. I've done the bottom and the top for the pie. And now I'm doing a little bit of decoration.
Hoping for a golden crust, she brushes with egg wash before finally getting it into the oven. Next up, her beef consommé.
So I'm mainly celebrating John Lawson Johnson, who invented Bovril. He managed to take beef and, make it so that it was transportable and it would last for a very long time. But I'm also doing the thermos, which is another Scottish invention.
Oh, it's a double.
Double whammy, yeah.
Do you get extra points for that?
Alongside lamb loin and fillet, Stuart will be serving pea tarts.
So this is the nori sheets. Toasting it improves the flavour much more.
Unusually, the tart filling is flavoured with nori seaweed, which he toasts before blitzing and combining with confit onions, dashi vinegar and soy sauce before adding garden peas.
Have you got any there for me?
Yeah,
give it a little
just
taste.
marinating actually. It's not quite finished.
It's big with the nori, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Very
a
nice.
big flavour. You don't need a lot on the peas, but obviously a good marinade for it, and then build it up into the tart with the cheese and stuff.
There's a little bit of vinegar going in there as well.
Yeah, it's a daihatsu vinegar, so
Nice.
it's got a lot of umami flavour again.
So like a dashi vinegar.
Like a
as well.
dashi vinegar.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything turns out.
Yeah, hopefully it all comes together nice.
Cheers, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you very much.
Just tasted Stuart's nori relish. Really, really nice. You've got the sweetness from the onions, and then that sort of seaweed comes through really nicely with that sort of earthiness. I can really start to see how that's all going to marry up with the peas and the lamb. Very excited to taste this.
Scott's first to the pass with his dish, celebrating the Scottish invention of the television.
Are you going to be on time?
Yeah,
or...
chef, I'll be on time.
Before plating, he heats slices of his short rib in a glaze made from its cooking liquor.
What can I do? Just go and wrap it.
Yeah,
Is that
take it
all right?
straight off.
Yeah.
The beef is first onto the plate,
Such a good cut.
Just not a good cut to do in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
followed by his roasted carrots,
They are bitter and chewy on the outside and just really soft in the middle.
Scott, due up in 1 minute, please.
Wait.
the potato mousse is next,
Plate looks great.
and then strands of crispy fried potato.
You got something green over there?
Yeah, wood sorrel and lamb sorrel.
Due at the pass now, please.
Oh, that's the TV dinner box. Scott, I've never seen you move so fast.
Don't think I have.
Nice.
I love it.
So this is TV Nation, and the inspiration is John Logie Baird's invention of the TV and how that's changed the way we eat.
Right, let's go. Stick Italian. So this is TV Nation, a mouth-watering beef dinner with carrots and mash. TV dinner, your evening dinner made easy. Was it?
It's not your average TV
That's
dinner.
not your average TV
No.
dinner, is it?
I know you had some issues with the pressure cooker. Did the beef turn out quite how you wanted it in the end?
I would have been a lot happier if I'd had a bit more time to leave it in the stock after cooking and a bit more time to press it.
I think, he did want a bit longer on that meat.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be unhappy.
No, not at all, no.
It's got a little slice to it.
The potato mousseline, is it seasoned enough?
I'm happy with the seasoning. If I'm going to be honest with myself, I think the horseradish could have been brought up a little bit.
I think it could be seasoned a little bit more. It's a little bit just creamy tasting.
And if you were going to score this dish out of 10, what do you think you'd give it?
I'd give it a 7.
When it was 7.
Exactly the same for me, I think 7.
Happy it's over.
Done.
Feel like I've ran a bit of a marathon, but happy.
Woo. And then a wee pinch of salt.
It's all hands on deck for Roberta's plating.
Roberta, you need a hand with something?
Yeah, just need to get, there's some carrot puree in here. Just want to get
Yeah,
that
of course,
bottle
yeah.
filled up, please.
Yeah.
Underneath there, if you can pull up the thermos jugs, please.
Yeah.
It's time for Roberta's showpiece pie to take centre stage.
Looks amazing.
But first, she needs to carefully transfer the fragile pie to a wooden platter. I can barely look.
Berta, take
Yeah.
your time. Breathe.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, going. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
la la.
Thank you.
Pie safely in place, Scott pours red wine sauce into jugs and fills mini thermos flasks with beef consommé.
Roberta, you're on your way up to the pass, yeah?
I will be up in about 40 seconds, I think.
While Roberta arranges baby vegetables.
So we got some baby beetroots, baby turnips, and baby carrots. Carrot puree.
It looks very vibrant, all the different colours of the veg.
And then I'm going to finish it with a little OTCD crumb. Thank you.
Wow.
Is this it?
I'm afraid so, Chef. Wait. It's Johnson's fluid beef, and it's Bovril and thermos.
What do you think, Stuart?
Incredible, Tom. I think it's to pull off that amount of work in that little time. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Let's go through and taste it.
Let's do it.
John Lawson Johnston invented fluid beef, a flavourful concentrate later called Bovril. The drink became a staple at winter football matches and is best sipped from a thermos, another Scottish invention, alongside a pie.
Quite impressive.
Very impressive, very banquet-y worthy, spectacular looking.
It's seriously impressive.
You happy with the pastry?
Yeah, I think it's got a good sort of nice firmness on the outside, and it's still, you know, the base is still a little bit soggy, which I always look for in a pie.
Pastry, is it shorted off?
Yeah, I think it is. It's got a good crisp to the top.
Buttery?
Buttery, yeah.
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 Pastry's good.
Are you happy with the way the layers held up inside the pie?
Yeah, delighted. I have practiced it a few times.
You can see the layers pretty clear.
Can you taste each distinct layer?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
If you were going to give yourself a score, what would it be?
I would love to get a 9. I'm really happy with it.
I'd go straight in with a 9. Yeah. There's very little to fault.
It's a pretty serious pie.
The effort plus all the props, the big pie, the whole thing, I think it's a 9 as well, yeah. Hey.
How are we doing?
Good. Happy?
Yeah, I was very happy.
Tom give anything away?
The poker faces.
Yeah, he's good at the old poker faces, Tom. Wouldn't play cards with him.
Before Stuart can plate his dish inspired by Dolly the sheep, he must cook his lamb loin in foaming butter and rosemary.
Smells amazing.
Charcoal pastry cases are filled for the pea tarts.
Is that the curd?
That's the sheep's milk cheese curds, yeah.
Stuart, how long do you think you're going to be, please?
3 minutes to pasture.
He decorates with pea shoots and garlic flowers before plating.
Are you happy with how that's cooked?
Yeah, it's bang on.
Well said.
Once the lamb loin and fillet are served, Stuart pipes a herb emulsion.
I like your little garnishing dance.
He adds lettuce leaves dressed with pickled liquor,
It gives it all a nice acidity, keeps the flavours nice and tight.
edible flowers and a final touch. And the dish is served to the strains of its inspiration's namesake, Dolly Parton.
Oh, Dolly!
Bingo!
Oh, got it, yeah, I was like... Wow.
Title is Bah Dolly. And the inspiration is Dolly the sheep, which was cloned in Edinburgh in the Roslin Institute. It's a really important scientific breakthrough. It was the first animal that was made from an adult cell.
Let's go through and taste it.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think about the overall look of the dish?
I think it's great. I think presentation, really, really clever. And the plate of food, I mean, God, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, I'm same as Roberta. Can't wait to get tucked into.
Well, then neither can I. Let's get involved.
Do you think at a banquet people are going to be OK with the lamb being that pink?
Yeah, I think loin is not like so bloody. It's lean, you know.
I wouldn't want it any rarer, and it's absolutely spot on.
Oh, it's bang on.
Is the pea tart how you wanted it?
Yeah, the pastry was executed well. The peas with the nornade, for me, the lamb and the seaweed flavour goes well together.
The marinade on the peas, is it working in relation to the rest of the dish?
I absolutely love it because it's something new for me, first of all. I think the lamb and the peas go amazing together. The lamb and the lovage and the herbs go amazing together.
If you were going to give yourself a score out of 10, what would it be?
Honestly, I would really love an 8 or a 9 for this dish. I feel like it's a strong dish. It's cooked properly. All the elements worked well.
Yeah, I think solid 8. It's a 9. Yeah, a
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going with 9 as well. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think he's done really well.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You happy with it?
Yeah, happy. No more said. How did you guys feel about yours?
Yeah, happy, yeah.
So, some good dinner.
Really good.
They really stepped it up, haven't they?
They've all sort of really pulled it together now, and it's there's some great feed today.
I know, I'm really impressed, actually. And I'm also relieved and happy for them that they're cooking. I feel like they've got up to speed now.
It's nice to see them actually settling into the kitchen.
I'm really interested to see these scores, Chef.
The scores so far mean Stuart is in the lead on 16, Roberta is 1 point behind on 15, and Scott is trailing on 14.
I'm going to start with you, Scott, for your dish, TV Nation. Link to the brief with the TV dinner box was great. I knew exactly what you were celebrating. I thought it was a nice touch. The short rib of beef, for me, needed to be a little bit more tender. You'd said that you wanted to overcook everything, so I was expecting it to be super soft, melt in your mouth. I know you had an issue with the pressure cooker, so maybe that's where it came through, but for me, it was a little bit tough. I thought the potato mousse was a little bit thin. I think I would have preferred like a really buttery mash. There was nowhere near enough horseradish, so a little bit bland all in all. There were just 3 elements on the plate, really, and not all of them were perfect. Next, Roberta, for your dish, Johnston's fluid beef. I loved the link to the brief. The presentation of the pie was spectacular. It's a real showstopper. I thought the ratio of each of the layers of the pie was perfect. Pastry was nice and golden and crunchy on the top. For me, a pie's always got to have a nice soggy bit on the bottom and those doughy corners, and they were perfect on that. It was actually my favourite bit of the pie. Consommé was very impressive, beautiful clarity. The depth of flavour was amazing. Very impressed again in the time that you managed to do that. Stuart, for your dish, Bar Dolly. The link to science and innovation was really creative. I loved the music in the end, it was a great touch. I loved the mirror box as well, being cloned. I thought it was really fun. And your plating, as always, was clean and beautiful. The lamb loin and fillet were perfectly cooked, really well seasoned. The pea tart was lovely. I liked the flavour of the norinade, but I felt there was a little bit too much of it. I think the balance was slightly off for me, but if you lighten it up, I think it's a real great dish.
Thanks.
So, to the scores. Stuart, I'm giving you a score of 8.
Should this go through to the judges, I would really take Tom's advice and keep it fresh, keep it vibrant. It's a really great dish. You can push it further.
Thank you.
Scott, I'm giving you a score of 7.
Scott, really great connection to the brief. It was playful. You really need to turn the volume up on this one, though, I would say. Should you do it again, it just needs more love, more energy. You don't want it to actually be a muted TV dinner.
And Roberta, I'm giving you a score of 10.
Hey.
Obviously. Fantastic. Loved
Thank
it. Loved everything about it. It's probably my second favourite main course I've ever seen on Great British Menu. Right after mine.
That pie was spectacular.
Thank you very much.
Just brilliant.
Great.
Congratulations to all of you. Such good cooking today. Really, really wonderful. We will see you for the sweet part of the menu.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, I got a 10.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I didn't expect that. I was like really hoping for a 9.
Yeah.
So to get that is unbelievable.
That's amazing.
I just got a 10. Oh my God, I just got a 10. That's incredible. Yes. I'm over the moon.
So I'm behind the pack by 3 points now, so quite a big gap to close. Anything can happen in the dessert. I'm still going to give it everything. Hopefully I can close that gap.
At the start of the week, I thought myself and Roberta would be quite close through the whole week, so I'm not surprised she's 1 point ahead. But everything to play for.
Now we move to the sweet part of the menu. It's time for the pre-dessert. In the event of a tie, the veteran needs to bear this in mind, so it must be excellent.
Stuart's pre-dessert will feature yoghurt sorbet dotted with beads of sea buckthorn, apple, blueberry and strawberry sorbets in a multicoloured nod to a classic child's toy.
Oh, very colourful. Look at all of this. What are you making?
The title is called Dippin' Dots, and it's inspired by the invention of the kaleidoscope.
Oh,
So David Brewster, Scottish.
Scotland's very busy on the whole invention front. isn't it?
We're flying on it. We've got tons to choose from. I feel sorry for other regions that maybe don't have as many cooks.
No idea. Honestly, Scotland's been very busy.
Roberta's offering, celebrating the first commercial marmalade, will feature orange marmalade parfait inside torched meringue, requiring great skill to get hot and cold working in harmony.
How are you as a pastry chef?
It's not my strongest area. It's an area that I've not done much in. But in some ways, because of that reason, I always really take my time and make sure I'm happy with them before they...
So you're quite meticulous about it?
Yeah.
Scott's dedicated his pre-dessert to Lachlan Rose, who first preserved lime juice in syrup. It marries the sweetness of Italian meringue and lime syrup with a Scottish ingredient I've never tasted before.
This here is the sort of savoury element. So we've got scurvy grass, grows all along the east coast. This is what sailors would rush off their boats to eat by the handful.
Can I taste a bit?
You can taste a little bit. I wouldn't want to eat it by the handful. It's very, very bitter, but it'll go against the sweetness of the meringue, and it's got a slight heat to it, a little bit like horseradish.
Oh! You have 1.5 minutes to the pass, chefs.
Yeah.
Wait.
Tom can't see the chefs, so he'll be judging on taste alone, and maybe that's a good thing when it comes to Roberta.
Are they behaving, Roberta?
No, not in the slightest.
Her orange marmalade parfait hasn't frozen enough.
You're looking slightly stressed there.
Yeah.
But in a gallant move, Stuart saves the day with his liquid nitrogen.
Well done, everyone. Are you happy?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No.
very happy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
OK, I'm going to take it to
Happy
Tom.
it's going.
Hey.
All got a bit stressy.
Oh, really?
Roberta, how are you feeling after that?
Really angry, upset, annoyed.
Kaleidoscope! I love kaleidoscopes.
Good palate cleanser.
Yeah, good palate
Yeah,
cleanser.
yogurt's always a good one, isn't it?
It's very one-dimensional. Do you know what I mean? It's one big bowl of the same.
Of the same
really.
thing.
It's not the most exciting thing I've ever eaten, but it's quite nice.
The connections to the kaleidoscope.
Yeah, like, it's fine. It's all right.
Yeah.
Beautiful and fresh.
For me, a little bit sharp, but I like the concept of it.
I like the sharpness.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, in the middle.
Is there some booze in there? I've got a little sort
There's a
of
little
boozy
bit of
one.
white rum in there.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I
Great.
think the flavour's great. I think the size of it's perfect.
It's really punchy, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I really like that.
Obviously slightly improvised at the end, so I don't actually know how this is going to eat.
Definitely tastes marmalade.
Maybe a bit too sweet.
For me, for a palate cleanser, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to attempt to eat it, really. Go for it.
I think the texture of that one's really unpleasant. It's too soft. It's like glue in my mouth. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not. No, I don't want another one of them.
Can you please rank them for me in order, bottom to top?
So in last place, this one,
Marmalade.
then the kaleidoscope one
Yes.
in the middle, and top is the limeys, the vitamin C thing. I actually really enjoyed that.
Now that you've ranked them, do you think you know who cooked what?
It's quite tough with this one.
Yeah.
I think Stuart with the kaleidoscope.
Right.
I think very clean, quite restaurant-y.
Yeah.
I would go Roberta with the limey.
OK.
And Scott with the marmalade.
So, Stuart,
Yeah.
Roberta,
Oh no.
Scott.
Well, yeah, I mean, Scott's really pulled it out of the bag then, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I know
he does that.
Yeah, that was impressive.
How do you feel about desserts based on this? High hopes?
Some high hopes and some concerns.
Yeah.
So, on to the dessert course. Currently in third place, but having just produced Tom's favourite pre-dessert, could Scott's strength lie in the pastry courses? Perhaps it's his end game his competitors should be concerned about. His dish will feature Earl Grey sorbet.
Let that steep for a minute.
He mixes sugar and pectin with water and glucose.
Pectin will stabilise the sorbet, give it a nice mouthfeel. Strain the tea now.
Then adds Earl Grey tea and creme fraiche, ready to churn later.
Goes in the freezer just to get extra cold before it goes in the machine.
So what are you making and what's the title?
Breakfast Club, and it's celebrating Alan McMasters, who invented the first electric toaster.
Oh!
And basically, I'm doing the breakfast table. So we're going to have some almond brittle, which tastes a little bit like crunchy nut.
Nice.
We've got like a cereal element. We've got a milk mousse going on. I'm making some brioche, which is going to be made into French toast. And then we've got some Earl Grey sorbet, just to finish it off as well.
Big thumbs up. That sounds delicious. Is there anything you're worried about?
timing on getting, there's a lot of hot elements and then need to get cold again really quickly, and the sorbet as well. Desserts are very technical.
Just keep reading, you'll be fine.
Thank you, cheers.
With his sorbet mix cooling, Scott can tackle his almond brittle. First, he creates a caramel.
Okay, so this is the stage where it gets quite critical.
He adds ground almonds to the caramel and allows to set, before blitzing, ready to remelt in the oven.
You're blending it and rebaking it, you just keep it really nice and thin.
Having slipped from the top spot, and after producing a mediocre pre-dessert, Stuart needs to pull a great dessert out of the bag now. He's making a feuilletine and chocolate base to bring crunch to his dish.
Everybody likes chocolate for dessert.
He mixes melted chocolate with feuilletine and then chills, ready to slice later. The dish is dedicated to a true trailblazer, a brewing industry innovator who was Scotland's first black university professor.
It's called Sweet Abrasion, and it's inspired by Sir Jeff Palmer, who came up with a technique to basically process barley in a different way. So barley is obviously Scotland's most important crop.
Yeah.
So we make whiskey from it, we make beer, we eat it, with cereals and breads and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of focus all my flavours around barley and whiskey. So we've got a whiskey caramel, and then we're going to make a little bit with miso.
Barley miso.
Yeah, barley
Nice.
miso. We've got a little bit of cereal grain, so some feuilletine on the bottom to give it a little crunch. So it's all like that barley cereal flavours
So
in
we
the
can
bar.
have little set layers. all the way
Layers up and down, yeah. Set in a mould, glazed with dark chocolate. I've got sea salt ice cream on the side, so again, salt, chocolate,
Sweet,
really works
dark,
well.
yeah, lovely.
Nice and cold on the side.
Flavours sound magnificent. I love the sound of the miso in there.
Yeah.
Good luck, my dear.
Thank you very much.
I'll be back.
Cheers.
Stuart travelled to meet the inspiration behind his dish, Sir Jeff Palmer, at Heriot-Watt University.
When I came across all the things that you had discovered when I was researching the brief, I didn't realise how important barley was to us as a country.
We make some of the best barleys in the world, and we make some of the best beers, and we make the best whiskey.
Yep.
So you have barley, and you germinate it,
Yep.
and it changes into malt. What I noticed was that if you damage the back of the grain, it's malted in 5 days. The normal malt will need another 2 days.
Right.
I started that off with 1 grain and 1 pin. We then invented a machine, a big machine, and that machine did 10 tons an hour.
Wow.
One of the lessons there is that technology is science that works.
What I've learned today has really just solidified how important the ingredients that I'm using are to Scotland. Whiskey, barley, malt, all the things that we're using makes me think that this is exactly the perfect dish for the brief.
Back in the kitchen, Stuart's making a blonde chocolate and miso ganache, adding glucose to cream.
So bring this up to a boil, melt it into the chocolate, add the gelatin.
He sets the ganache in the fridge before whipping with whiskey later. Having scored top marks for her main, then wiping out with her pre-dessert, Roberta will be looking to steady the ship with her dessert and retain her pole position. She's making lemon curd for her dish, celebrating the Scottish development of antibiotics.
I'm a point ahead. I want to stay ahead. So I'm going for it. I want dessert.
Roberta,
Hello.
how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are
You
you?
recovered?
I think so.
Tell me about your dish, the title of it, and what the inspiration is, please.
So it's called penicillin. Obviously, Sir Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. But I've done a slight different take on it. There's a cocktail called the penicillin. And the ingredients in that cocktail are ginger, lemon, honey, and whiskey.
Right.
And so I've based a dessert around all those flavours.
Oh, excellent.
So there are two bits to it. You've got ginger sponge with a little lemon curd.
Yep.
It's going to get coated in a white chocolate.
Right.
On the side, I'm serving a ginger ice cream with some crunchy ginger nuts underneath.
So these are?
That is those guys, yes.
Right.
I will also be serving the penicillin cocktail alongside.
You've been here before, haven't you? You know what works.
Yeah.
Roberta visited mixologist Mike Aiken at Edinburgh's Lucky Liquor Company to see how the professionals make a great penicillin cocktail.
So I guess we start with the key ingredient, which is our whiskey.
Yep.
1 part of lemon juice.
Yeah.
And then the honey syrup.
Yeah.
And the ginger syrup. So it's about
Okay.
half of each, about that much.
Perfect.
And then we're just going to give that a shake with ice.
Cool.
I'm just double straining it to take the ice shards out. You can see in this little tea strainer. A really crucial part of this cocktail is the addition of a little bit of peated whiskey.
Okay.
It's more for the nose than anything.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of candied ginger as a garnish.
I think it's great. I think it's banquet worthy, and I hope they get it. I want to see it at the banquet.
Back in the kitchen, Roberta adds gelatin to her lemon curd and then cracks on with her ginger cake. Scott's checking on the almond brittle for his breakfast-themed dessert, but it's not melted as he hoped it would.
I need to fix it fast. Really fast. I'm just making more.
This time, Scott adjusts his recipe.
Too much nuts to sugar ratio. Let's start again.
With fingers crossed and the second batch of brittle underway, Scott can focus on churning his Earl Grey sorbet. But that means using a machine he's not familiar with.
Stuart, what do I do with this? Just stop, keep it spinning, sorry. It'll start to feed out, just get a spoon and just start feeding it into your thing.
All seems fine until...
Seems to be struggling.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really coming out though.
Scott is clearly frustrated as the churner appears to have given up the ghost. But all that's needed is a little patience.
Yeah, it's off. I've got what I need.
Stuart's ready to start layering up his dessert, celebrating innovation in brewing. But first, Tom wants a taste of his blonde chocolate and miso ganache.
So it's like blonde chocolate.
Yeah, it's like white caramelised chocolate, a little bit of glucose, a little bit of gelatin, a bit of miso. And when we whip it up, we add a wee bit of whiskey. You get the alcohol.
Yeah, you want it quite boozy then.
A little boozy, because there's 2 elements that have got the whiskey. So this one is a lighter one, and the caramel has the whiskey through it as well.
Nice.
So you should get a hit.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, nice.
I didn't want to be judging Scotland and then not get any whiskey.
Nah,
you know
man, that's
what
all I thought. I'd be disappointed if we didn't get half this time.
Stuart begins layering his dessert. First the chocolate miso ganache, into which he pipes whiskey caramel, then encloses with more ganache and adds the base. Roberta's dessert, penicillin, pays tribute to Sir Alexander Fleming and draws inspiration from the penicillin cocktail.
Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Tom.
How's it all going?
So far, so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Looking a little bit stressed again.
Yeah. Some lemon curd here if you'd like to try it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously with all the sweet elements, you want it quite sharp to
Yes.
balance everything, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've got the sweetness coming through from sort of the ginger cake and whatnot, but then the chocolate's the dark chocolate, so it's got a bit of bitterness in that.
Okay.
If it all works out, I think it's going to be absolutely cracking.
Just tasted Roberta's lemon curd. It's nice and sharp, but it's got a sort of soapy flavour to it that I'm not really enjoying. She's going to have to work really hard to make sure that balances with all of the other elements in the dish.
Roberta's dish will feature individual cakes designed to look like giant antibiotic tablets. She tops ginger cake with her lemon curd and a ginger nut crumb before adding a chocolate and whiskey mousse. Once set, Roberta coats with a chocolate glaze and sprays with white cocoa butter. Scott's first to the pass, and it's time to check on the almond brittle that he had to remake. But it's failed again.
It's not remelting. I've even tweaked it and added more sugar on the second batch, and it's, yeah.
So, desperate for some crunch to add texture to his dish, Scott decides to take a shortcut with his third batch.
How are you, Scott? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, Andy. I had a few issues with my almond brittle.
Yeah.
This is the third time I'm making it, so I'm going to have to adapt it with the time frame.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to add the almonds in, and instead of letting it cool, blending it and rebaking it, I'm going to put it onto the sheet and roll it as thin as I can while it's hot.
And just try and get it to set as quickly as possible. All right, darling.
Cheers, thank you.
It's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
Okay, plating up. So, French toast.
Scott tops rounds of French toast brioche with bitter orange puree.
How long do you think, Scott?
Be up in 1 minute. You grab the trays from down there.
Milk mousse is next, along with shards of the pesky almond brittle.
You're right, you're almost there.
It's not what I want, but it's going to work. So just break these up and just fold over the
This
top
looks
loop.
better. Happy, happy?
Happy, happy.
The final touch is a rochet of Earl Grey sorbet, and the bowls are served on breakfast trays.
Bring it in. You happy?
I'm happy I got some texture on there last moment. I was really worried about that.
It's up here now.
So this is the Breakfast Club, and it's inspired by Alan McMaster's invention of the first electric toaster.
Brilliant. Let's go through and taste it.
What do you think about the overall look?
Yeah, it looks breakfasty.
If I'm honest, it doesn't overly excite me.
You happy with the consistency of the sorbet? Is it set enough?
I think another 10 minutes in the freezer, and then a bit firmer.
So we've got Earl Grey sorbet on the top.
Oh, OK.
What do you think of that? Is it Earl Grey coming through?
Yeah. Yeah, I can taste it too, yeah.
That almond brittle, did it turn out how you wanted it to in the end?
No, it didn't exactly turn out. It's the third take on it, and I had to improvise to get the flavour coming through. It has the effect of the crunch that you get from the cereal, but I did want the almond level just a little bit higher on there.
It tastes like brittle, it tastes like almonds. It
I quite
gives
like
punch to it.
I quite like a chunky bristle though.
Yeah.
You know, with nuts through it, personally.
Scott, if you were going to score this dish out of 10, what would you give it?
I would give this a 7.
I mean, I think it's like 6 for me. I don't think he's got it right. I don't think he's happy with it either. So for me, it'd be a 6.
Yeah, I really don't want to say that either, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to say the same as 6.
Yeah, you don't want to be
6.
mean, but...
No, it's not about
It
being
is
mean,
what it
it's
is.
about being honest.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah.
you know. OK, thank you both. I know you want to get back to your dishes, so go, 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 go.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing?
Scott,
Yeah, good.
how you doing, man?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Couple of last
Happy?
minute. Happy what? 'Cause I'm done. Yeah, ecstatic.
A shiny coating of chocolate glaze is the last step in Stuart's prep.
They look nice and glossy.
Yeah,
look at
shiny.
the shine on
Just
that.
as I wanted them, really.
And then his layered chocolate delices can finally be plated. He pipes on osmanthus gel.
It's a Japanese tea, so I've got like a kumquat, sort of apricot sort of flavour to it, which I think goes nicely with the whiskey.
Do everything on time?
Yes, chef.
Kataifi pastry sits on top.
This is meant to look like barley straw, so I'm kind of happy how that looks. It's got a little dusting of malted barley powder on top.
What's the shoots?
The corn shoots.
What's in the little spray bottle?
Whiskey. It has got whiskey throughout it, so I want you to smell that.
Oh, there's ice cream as well, isn't there?
Yep. Sea salt ice cream, sort of Mr. Whippy style.
The finished dishes are served in mini whiskey barrels.
Bang on time, chef.
Yes, chef. So the title of the dish is Sweet Abrasion. It's inspired by Sir Jeff Palmer, who invented a technique about how we process barley in Scotland.
What do you think, Roberta?
It looks amazing.
Brilliant. Let's go.
Yes.
It's very special.
Well, I think that is a very grown-up, quite beautiful-looking thing, don't you?
Elegant, clean, links all back to the brief.
I dedicate this dish to Sir Jeff Palmer. He's made essential contributions to the modern brewing of barley in Scotland. Additionally, after overcoming adversity and racism in his own life, he now works with young people of colour and speaks out about modern race issues. Brilliant, what a story.
Yeah, great guy.
The foytine on the bottom,
Yeah.
do you think that's the right thickness?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, you crunch through it. For me, it's fine. Works nicely.
You need a really good crunch at the bottom because it's quite soft. And there's definitely plenty of crunch in there.
Can you taste enough of the miso in the ganache?
Yes, I definitely can. It's got that salty, roasted flavour to it.
There's a barley miso ganache happening in there. Can you taste the barley notes?
The chocolate's quite powerful.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I don't.
Yeah.
I get a slight maltiness.
Yeah.
Scores. Roberta, you go first this time.
I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to say 7.
Yeah, I think I'd score an 8.
I'd be looking for a high score, Tom. I'm hoping for a 9. I think it's a smart dessert, clean, makes sense, and all the elements are right.
Hey, yeah, you all right?
Good, yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, lovely.
Presentation amazing.
Roberta's last to the pass as she positions her pill-like cake onto the plate.
Is that what you wanted, Roberta?
It's not as clean as I wanted it to be.
Roberta, you are due at the pass now,
Yeah,
just so you
thank
know.
you.
She pipes ginger ice cream onto ginger nut biscuit crumb.
Not there?
Yeah.
Safe, yeah. And then just lemon balm top. 30 seconds, I'll be on the pass.
Once garnished with lemon balm, the ice cream is served with bottles of honey syrup and the penicillin cocktail.
Relieved?
Yeah. It's called penicillin. Inspiration is penicillin.
Good connection. I see what you
Done,
did there.
yeah.
Oh, I like that, I like that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Subtle.
Shall we go and eat?
Taste it.
Let's go eat.
What do we think?
Yeah, nice presentation for sure. It looked very
good way.
bougie in the gold tin.
And what do you think about the finish on the penicillin itself?
I think, like she said, she probably wanted a little bit deeper white to make it look like the pill and a little bit cleaner.
Right. Cocktail me up. Let's go.
Slange.
Do you think it goes well with the chocolate and the ginger?
I mean, I don't think anybody would not like it at the end of the dessert for sure. I think people would like it.
Do you think the lemon curd's bringing enough acidity?
I think you get little hits of it, but maybe there could increase it a touch.
Are you getting a citrus flavour?
Yeah, I
in the
definitely
cake?
get like a marmalade type flavour.
That's interesting because it's lemon. Does
know
it taste
why
more
that is.
orangey to you?
To me, I don't know why.
Finally, Roberta, if you were going to score this out of 10, what would you score it?
I think I'd go an 8. I'm happy with a lot of it, but there's definitely room for improvement.
Stuart?
I would give it an 8.
I was just going to say the same, I would agree. An 8.
Good drinks?
Lovely.
Delicious.
Really good.
Just what we need after the dessert course.
Yeah.
So obviously all three of them have worked really hard this week.
Yeah,
We have
definitely.
to send one of them home at the end of today. Do you know where you are with that?
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Whoever gets through, let's just hope that one of them gets to fly the flag for Scotland that day at the banquet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, man.
The two chefs that I'm going to be putting through have put up some really great dishes at times, and there's certainly some there I could see going all the way to the banquet, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following the first 3 scored courses, Roberta is on 25, Stuart on 24 and Scott on 21.
Well, what an end to the competition. There was some fantastic dessert cookery today. I think you all left everything on the plate, blood, sweat and tears, and I thank you for it. Thank you for all your efforts.
I'm going to start with you, Scott, for your dish, the Breakfast Club. I did understand the link to the brief, but I thought it was a shame that I couldn't see the toast. I think celebrating the toaster, it would have been nice to have seen that much more clearly. The brioche French toast tasted great. Loved the caramelisation on it. I thought the brioche was really well made, proved nicely and baked well. The milk foam, I thought it was fine, quite a neutral flavour, which I didn't mind, but there was quite a lot of it. I know you had some problems with the almond brittle, but you waited to put something up, and I definitely thought that was the right choice. It needed texture. I thought the sorbet was really good. The texture of it was lovely, and that flavour of the Earl Grey really came through. I like that orange puree, the bitter orange puree, but for me there was a little bit too much of it, a little bit overpowering. Stuart, for your dish, sweet abrasion. I liked your link to science and innovation. This invention's clearly important to Scotland. The barley link came across really well in the presentation and on the plate. The layers in the delice look great. Ratio was really good. Whiskey caramel had a lovely consistency. The blonde chocolate and miso ganache was brilliant. You could really taste the miso coming through. Perfect balance with sweet and savoury there. Personally, I found the feuilletine a little bit too thick, just a little bit. And overall, I wanted it to be a little bit more boozy. Never thought I'd be saying to a Scotsman that he didn't give me enough whiskey. Overall, I thought this was really skilled, precise, confident and bold. You can really see your personality in this dish, as with all of them, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Roberta, for your dish, penicillin. I really liked the presentation, and again, the link to the brief. I think you know yourself, the finish on the cake was a little bit too sloppy, which was a shame. I loved the little tray with the cocktail on it. Really loved the flavour of the cocktail, thought it was beautiful. And I could really see something like that at the banquet. I think it's a lot of fun for the diners. The flavour of the ginger sponge was really good, and I really liked the crunch from the crumbled up biscuits inside the cake. When I tasted the lemon curd on its own, I didn't like it. I thought it was quite medicinal. I wasn't sure about it when I tasted it in the kitchen. But within the dessert, I thought it was really good. Really liked the flavour. The chocolate whiskey mousse, for me, again, wasn't quite boozy enough, not enough whiskey flavour coming through. And I do have to question the chocolate as a choice. I think overall it was one flavour too many. The ice cream was really smooth, flavourful, but I found the ginger crumb on the bottom of that, overall with everything, a little bit too intense. So to the scores. Scott, I'm giving you 7.
Getting your dish up within the time you managed was so impressive, as you had so many problems with that brittle. The flavours were excellent, but I would say that the ratios of the elements would need to be rethought.
Stuart, I'm scoring you 9.
Stuart, just beautiful. Beautiful execution, intense and stunning flavours. Perhaps a little big, because it's very, very rich.
Yeah.
More whiskey, please.
Yes.
Always more whiskey.
Always more whiskey.
Roberta, I'm scoring you an 8.
Roberta, half of your presentation was beautiful. That tray was just lovely. But you do need to work on finessing that penicillin, but you know that. So that means that the 2 chefs going through to cook for the judges tomorrow are Stuart and Roberta. Congratulations, you tied on 33 points each. Scott, so sorry, it means that you're going home. It has been so wonderful to watch you work. It's just lovely to have you in the kitchen. Thank you so much for all of your efforts. It's been a joy.
Thanks very much, Jess.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Scott,
Really well done.
Sorry.
Commiserations, man.
Smash it
Yeah.
out for Scotland, yeah?
Yeah. Well done.
Listen, it's been
Equal team.
an absolute pleasure cooking with you
Yeah,
guys.
no,
That's great.
likewise.
I went in there, I gave it my best shot, had a little issue again with one of the elements. I'm definitely going back with my head held high. It's been a tough week, but I'm leaving on a good note.
The banquet is my deal, you know, I want to get there. Tomorrow I'll go a little harder, be a little bit more precise, and I'll be a little bit more focused than I have been maybe this week, but I'm definitely going to smash my dishes again.
Really happy to be in this position again. Obviously got through to Judge Chambers last year. Next hurdle is finals, so no pressure.
Stuart and Roberta finished the week neck and neck. I can't call this one, it's so close. I think tomorrow it's just going to come down to whoever holds their nerve in the kitchen.
Oh God, we have to do it again.
What more cooking coming up?
Tomorrow, Roberta and Stuart battle it out in the kitchen.
Let's do it.
Let's do it for Scotland.
One last time. There'll be triumphs
That's good.
Absolutely. Top drawer.
and plenty of tension. But who will emerge the winner?
The person going through to represent Scotland is...